Hello there, my name is David, and I love movies. Movies that I'm particularly fond of include fantasy, horror, adventure, comedy, action, and the main focus of this video, science fiction. The Coming Storm is an upcoming science fiction story. It is one of the most ambitious films I've ever worked on, and the following is my own personal journal of its creation so far. Possibly the biggest challenge that I really wanted to get over with early in production was the massive future city that sinks down into the ground to protect citizens from giant windstorms. To achieve this, I decided fairly early on that the city would be achieved using a multitude of different visual effects, mainly miniatures, models, and computer-generated images. The overall design of the city was influenced by many different films and television shows such as Metropolis, Brazil, Blade Runner, Firefly, Akira, and Neon Genesis. I was also inspired heavily by creators like Slice of Life, Jan Hubert, Dead Sound, Captain Disillusion, and Oh, Kurt, what's wrong with you? Buddy, I thought we talked about this. You said you were gonna stop. For the more detailed shots, I'm using models for my hero minis. These are buildings that will be used in multiple shots, close-ups, and in some shots even have live-action actors interacting with them. For the background buildings, I used styrofoam and box packaging that I found in thrift stores and cardboard boxes to create a base. For details, I used discarded or broken appliances that I took apart, organized, and then reapplied to the bases in order to add things such as windows, platforms, launching pads, pipes, etc. This process is always fun for me because when you're dealing with miniatures, anything can be anything. Clothespins can be building supports, wires can be telephone cables, microchips can be transformers. The limit really is just your imagination. After I was happy with the overall shape, I used a spray paint primer in order to create a base color and a protective layer. For lights, I used a mix of LED lights, battery-powered lights, and lights specifically made for miniatures. Using a tiny drill bit, I drilled holes throughout the buildings to create windows. After I made about 6 buildings that I was happy with, I proceeded to photograph them from multiple angles in order to get good reference photos. Now we begin the dreaded 3D modeling phase. Using the reference photos as a blueprint, I proceeded to model the buildings in Blender. The shapes of these are very basic, and the reason for this is because they will mainly be in the background, so they don't really need to be too detailed. On top of that, 3D modeling is not my strong suit, so as shitty as these look, they are the best I could do. Sad, isn't it? Moving away from the miniatures, let's talk about giant robots. In the climax of the film, a giant mech rises out of the ground. In order to achieve this effect, I was originally going to try to animate a giant robot digitally in Blender using a free-to-use model. However, that changed when I found this really awesome looking robot at a thrift store for about $3. I bought it and brought it home and started modifying it for the film. In order to make the robot ready to animate in stop motion, I went to Home Depot and bought wing nuts, bolts, and washers. I drilled a hole in the robot's feet and superglued the wing nuts to the robot. This way, while I animate the subject, it will be completely still. After the feet are rigged, I added a protective black base coat. And that's about it so far. I'm not even close to being finished and I still have a lot of work to do. However, I'm very excited with how things are turning out so far. If anyone is interested in helping me out with this project, or you just want to throw your ideas around, just let me know. I am always looking for people to help me out wherever they can. And I think that'll be it. You guys have a nice day, and stay safe.